Ladies and gentlemen, this is Dr. Lewis, one of your favorite doctors. And in this channel, we have talked so much about how to fix the physical. We talk about medical condition, we talk about inflammatory conditions, but we have never taken time to talk about the spirituality. Now, I put up a live on TikTok that was talking about spirituality and the power of forgiveness. And it was so captivating, and I've received so many requests from people to just talk about the power of forgiveness. And I want you to understand that the physical is just but a carrier to the spiritual. At the end of it all, everything will always run to what is good and what is evil. Now, health aspects and fixing your health through diets, through fasting, and through healthy ketos, through even medicines, it's all about the physical. However, fasting has a spiritual aspect. So fasting connects you to your spirituality, and that's the reason why we encourage you to fast. It goes beyond health reasons or benefits. It goes beyond the physique. It goes deeper into the spirituality and your mental health. So it helps you develop the agility and the strength to even push harder. For men, it also boosts your testosterone. And for women, it also balances your hormones. However, today's video, I want to address the spiritual aspect of life. Now, most of you, whether in a relationship or whether you're married, you've gotten into this relationship without understanding the basics of spirituality. So most of you are religious. You know about God. But the question is, do you know God? Do you just hear about God, or do you know God? Do you understand the order of life, that God above Christ, and Christ above men, and men above women, and then women above children? Do you understand that order? Do you appreciate it? Are you struggling in your relationship because you don't understand that order? Are you also struggling because you don't understand the nature of God? You've just heard about Him and you know about Him, but you do not know Him. So this is a video for you. And the reason why I'm putting up this video is because when you fix your spiritual, your physical follows suit. That is the most interesting part about this. Therefore, most people, be it men or women, they have never forgiven their parents. Most of us have our identities corrupted by the emotions that come from our parents, specifically our mothers. It is the role of a father to always hold the family together. So it's the role of the father to protect the children against emotions that are coming from their mother. Okay? Now, that is just the primary role, because protection, provision, and leadership are roles of a man. Therefore, when a man is absent in a child's life, it becomes a little chaotic. This is a fate that most of us are suffering from. We get into marriage, we get into relationships without having to forgive our past, because we keep on focusing on our past. But I want you to know this. Anytime you focus on the door that is closed behind you, you fail to understand the power that lies in the door that is ahead of you. Most of us also are so carried away by what is in the future and what is in the past, and we forget to live in the present. We don't even understand the present. But we know you do not have anything to change about your past. Neither do you have power to change your future, but you can do something now that will guarantee a brighter future for those who will be there tomorrow, if at all God grants them the grace. This is the point. When mothers try as much as possible to, because women naturally have this controlling thing inside them, so they are always aiming at controlling something. And apparently, the only thing that they can control in their life is a man. Therefore, a woman has two ways to control a man. Number one, you will control a man by turning children against the man. So you will use the children to control the man. And number two, women will use sex to control the man. Now understand this, men, that women do not love sex as such. Women love the attention that comes, or the favors or the validation that will come with giving you sex. So women don't appreciate sex as such. But women like or enjoy sex. They don't love it, but they enjoy sex. Now that's where the challenge comes in, because women are the ones who vent sex and men are the ones who are sex addicts. Therefore, women know that sex is a transactional tool. So they use it to get the validation, they use it to get the favors, and that's why it's easy for a woman to maintain a friendship between a woman and a man And it's hard for a man to maintain a friendship between the man and a woman. So there's no friendship between men and women. But they can exist friendships between women and men because they use it for the validation and they use it for the form of control that they want. So those two things are how women control men. Now, most of our families, either we hail from a single parenthood, which is a single mother home, or we hail from a dual parentship, but the mother was the most vocal, or the mother was the provider. So the father and the mother were sharing bills and stuff, and all these things get into the child's head through the mother. So the mothers turn their children against the father because it's a form of control. And once they do that, remember, on earth, the earthly representation of God to a child is the father. So when the mother turns these children against their father through emotions, this is where the problem begins, because once she does that, she's turning the children against God. And therefore, these children become so emotional, they become so chaotic, and they adapt. They adapt the qualities and the identity of their mother. So most of the people that you see, most of the men that you see, and the women that you see, they have an identity that is not theirs. It's an identity that's coming from their mothers because of how their mothers used them to control their fathers. Now that is dangerous because you will raise children who are super emotional. They are chaotic and they don't have order. Now this means most men will get to attract exactly a woman who behaves like their mother. Because when these mothers feel emotions to these children start to resent their mothers. And whoever you resent, you become. So these children start becoming exactly or behaving exactly as their mothers because they have the identity of their mothers. So now all their lives they are running away from their mothers because they resent their mother. And this is because children love their fathers. But when you turn them against their fathers, they start to resent the mother. And once they resent the mother, they become the mother because they adapt the identity of their mother. And now when these children get into relationships, they are actually bringing their mother into the relationships inside them. So they end up attracting what they've been running away from. So if their mother is emotional, chaotic, the provider, these children will end up attracting people. Like if it's a lady or it's a girl you're raising, she ends up becoming a lady who will attract a man who cannot provide, who is irresponsible, who is chaotic and emotional, and cannot hold down a family. And that's the reason why there is so much cases of divorce coming in all the time. There are so many cases of the LGBTQIZ agenda. That we know it. That's the reason why it's on the rampant increase, because these children are so emotional and they don't have their own identity. God wants people to have their own identity. And how do you get your own identity? You have to go back to your mother and tell your mother, I understand that you tried to raise me in the best possible way you could because I was just your son. And I think it's only right that I stop resenting you because I've been resenting you for no good reason. Now, you're telling her that not because you want forgiveness from her, because forgiveness does not come from human beings. Forgiveness comes from God. So you're actually showing God that I'm interested in taking my identity back from my mother. So you walk to your mother and tell her, I've been resenting you for no good reason, and I think it's time for me to let it go. So I want you to forgive me for resenting you. Now, whatever she says should be none of your business, because she's not in a position to forgive you. God will forgive you. Give her a chance to respond. If she responds in a way that you didn't like, it's none of your business. Move on. Go to your father and tell your father, Dad, I expected you to prevent or to protect me from emotions that were coming from my mother, and you did not. So I've been resenting you for that. But I know you did your best to raise me into the person that I am. So I want you to forgive me for resenting you for no good reason. Now understand that that statement is like a reverse psychology. So you'll use it to get your own identity from these two people. Once you have your identity, God will now get emotions out of you. He will get anger out of you, and now he will fill you with love. Now, once he fills you with love, you will have a lot of love to share to your children. Understand that love is not supposed to be shared to a man, because women cannot love men. Men are the ones who share their love with women, and women share their love with children. Therefore, if you have children, you need that love so that you can share them with them, and then God will reveal things through your own identity on how to raise these children. Now you'll raise children who have emotions but can handle them. You'll raise children who have love, they don't have anger, because a heart that has anger does not have love. And then you'll raise responsible children. They will grow into men. But until you do that, you cannot even know how to love your children, because you will punish them with emotions. You punish them with the mindset of your ex, or your fallen marriage, or your broken relationship. So you punish these children not because they have done a mistake, but you punish them because they have anger. Because you have anger inside you and emotions. And anger is the nature of Satan. So do not allow Satan to live in you. Get him out by getting your forgiveness and your identity back, and God will use that to fill you with love and show you or reveal things to you that will help you live a healthy life. Now, this is one of the things that is lacking in marriages, relationships, and also in our health, because we focus so much on fixing the physical and not fixing the spiritual and the internal. But remember, this external one is just a carrier of the spiritual. So once you fix your spiritual, once you fix your mindset, you are good to go. The physical will align. So you cannot lead a healthy life without fixing the spiritual and the mindset. And that's the reason why we tell you to read books. That's the reason why we tell you to fast. That's the reason why we tell you to do a silent prayer. Basically, when you feel overwhelmed and nothing, you cannot do nothing about anything, that is the time you should do nothing. Simply close your eyes, focus your mind in between your eyes, and then start breathing naturally. And let everything just go through your head. Let those bad and good thoughts flow into your head, and let all the emotions run. Your job is just to focus your mind in between your eyes. Guess what you will realize? 10 minutes down the line, as you breathe out and open your eyes and get back to nature, you've connected with nature, you've connected with your spirituality, and you will understand that you are not a product of your thoughts. Thoughts are evil at every time because they are not who you are. They are what people have told you and what people have loaded into your head. So separate yourself from emotions by meditating or by doing the silent prayer. Once you do that, everything else will come out clear. So I thought I should share this to you so that you use this as you fix your physical through diets, through medicines, through fasting, through all these things that we advocate for in this channel. You should also understand that the spiritual plays a major role. So fix the spiritual, fix the mindset, and everything else will align.